Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet with Rebecca here.
Yes, yes. This
Rebecca
this this
Arcef.
is me,
Yeah,
Rebecca Balsef,
that's you
in the hood.
in the hood. Today we don't have Dawood here because Dawood is
Where's
currently
Dawood? Where's David?
Dawood is currently traveling and doing different things and giving speeches and things like that. So because of that, I have a replacement here, much better than David. Much better than David. I have Rebecca here. Rebecca, what's up? How you doing?
Good, good. I had an awesome, great day. We've been great news. It was. We were on ecstasy all day today.
Yeah,
Everybody, not just me. It's nice when it's national.
finally some good news, right? It's very, very nice.
It's like heroic.
Yeah, what was very nice is in the morning when I woke up. First, my wife, she woke me up and told me about this, about the operation. I started very happy, and then I got a message from you, and you sent me a voice message because you were so happy about this. And
I was.
yes, but people are celebrating. This gives people new hope, um, because we've had a lot of things going on, and this just brought people joy. It is finally some great news. And also, one of the hostages rescued, Noah. She was one of the faces of the whole the kidnapping that was done at the Nova Music Festival, with a very, very dramatic video where she was taken on the back of a motorbike. So she was kind of on everyone's mind. So her being rescued and then having photos and videos with her smiling just brought people a lot of joy. Yeah. What do you feel about this, Rebecca?
I don't know how to, it's not irrational, I would say. It's just happiness, just joy, just like your friend came back home. That's like, it feels personal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's even rational. I feel like it's not that anything that I can say, oh, this and that, it's because, no, it was just like hearing that your friend came back home That's how it felt like. So it felt like surprisingly personal.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can see that. We also want to look at. So I want to first look at the reactions and look at the news of what happened today, of the Israeli hostages that have been saved from Gaza, but then also talk about the details about how this happened, and I also want to discuss some of the wider implications of this whole mission and what this actually says about Hamas and about Gaza, because right now there's just one side is celebrating and very happy, the other side is saying, "Whoa, they rescued hostages and they killed so many people," and so on. But there are some details that we need to address when we talk about this issue, and why is there so much background noise from your side suddenly? What happened here?
Here, let me check.
Okay, I think it's better now. Okay.
It's better?
Yeah, because I just turned your background noise off. Okay. Let's look at the reactions here.
It's my aircon.
It's your what?
I can turn it off, like the air conditioning.
What in the hell is this? Okay, no, that's fine. All right. I first want to look at this very, very. No matter what you think about Netanyahu, this was just a very nice thing to see.
They also met up in person.
Yes, but the first thing that
they've been holding hands like that.
Yeah.
שלום נועה, ברוך שובך הביתה.
תודה רבה.
איך את מרגישה? איך את מרגישה, נועה?
מתרגשת מאוד.
את
מתרגשת לצפתי עברית כבר כל כך הרבה זמן.
עכשיו גם עברית וגם בבית, וזה חשוב.
That was so significant, her saying, I missed hearing Hebrew for so long, because she was just hostage being kept in some messed up place inside Gaza.
They were kept in apartments, I think.
Yeah. They
Those who
were
were
actually
rescued.
kept in civilian buildings among regular Gazan civilians. So they weren't even kept underground. They weren't kept among Hamas
So
fighters. They were kept among civilians in
yeah.
civilian buildings. And she's very happy to finally hear her own language again and to be around her own people again.
Yeah, the rumor has it that they separated. I don't know if it's really true, but that the soldiers are kept in the tunnels and that civilians, some of them are kept in apartments.
Yeah, we'll look at that a little bit later.
עכשיו, גם עברית וגם בבית, וזה חשוב. ואנחנו לא, לרגע אחד לא ויתרנו עלייך, ואני לא יודע אם את האמנת בזה, אבל אנחנו האמנו בזה, ואני שמח שזה יתממש.
תודה רבה.
תודה, נועה. תתברכי עם המשפחה, ותחבקי את אמא בשבילי גם כן.
תודה רבה.
וגם בשם רעייתי, גם בשם רעייתי, שרה.
בבקשה, אדוני ראש הממשלה, תודה רבה לגברת שרה בשבילי.
אני אמסור לה...
He said we never gave up on you.
Why? They did not translate the whole way?
They didn't translate the end here.
Oh,
What did they say?
בבקשה,
No,
אדוני ראש
nothing.
הממשלה, תודה רבה
it
לגברת
just,
שרה בשבילי.
אני אמסור לה בכל לב.
it just please say thank you to Sarah, his wife.
Oh, nice. But then there is also there are videos of them actually meeting in person and getting together, and it is very, very nice. I think I did post. I think I did post clips of that because somebody. Oh yeah, here. Here is one instance. There were. Let's see. Oh, this is the phone.
This is the president.
This is the phone call again. Go.
From the president.
And-
Do you want the video?
Yeah,
of the-
pretty sure I have it somewhere. I just have to quickly find it again.
I think I have it too. If you want, I can send it to you.
Yeah, I thought I have it already here, but yeah.
No,
Let's
let me
see. Oh yeah, I have a longer clip. I think with him meeting all of the hostages that were rescued. Here, I got it.
Yeah.
Вау, спасибо вам.
Thank you.
Спасибо вам.
In Russian.
Что происходит? Что?
What did he say there?
Thank you. What's going on? Like, it's like, in the end, when he did like that, when he would look at it, and Tanya was like, "What's going on?" like it's like I can't believe what's happening.
Because of the shock of him being there personally and
Yeah.
hugging him and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very, very heartwarming. Very, very nice. Very good.
Спасибо вам. Что происходит? Что?
Here you can see them holding hands.
Yeah.
Benjamin Netanyahu is holding Noah's hand.
כדי שמפה אמא שלה תפגוש אותה, הוא הנהן לי.
זה מאוד נגע.
זו העוצמה של ראש הממשלה.
מאוד נגע.
אני בהזדמנות זאת רוצה להודות לצבא האיכותי, האנושי.
What did I say? Can you summarize
So
what
he
they...
started with saying that soon she's gonna meet her mother. She's in Ichilov. She's in another hospital. She has cancer, and that as she said, like this is like something along the lines of like I can't remember exactly, but thank God, and like this is our prime minister. Like this is strength. And then he said, I want to thank the IDF and our security forces. They are the most humane, amazing people.
Very, very nice. Yeah, for those wondering, Rebecca does speak, of course, Hebrew and also Russian.
Yes.
And You
Da.
do speak Russian. You also speak a little bit Georgian, don't you?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
באמת, אני בטוחה במיליון אחוז, לא באחוז אחד, מיליון אחוז.
They said he said that they're gonna work to release the other hostages and like rescue the other hostages. And she said, I it's not that I trust you in 100%. I trust you 1,000,000% that you're gonna get them.
Taji says, "Oh wow, she looks more Mizrahi. I assumed she wouldn't be of European descent. You are from the
I mean, half
Lithuanian thing, right?
yeah, from my mother's side.
Okay. So wait, how is your background? So you from the Lithuanian and the Georgian background, Georgian Jewish background, or is this?
Yeah, Georgian Jewish and Lithuanian Jewish.
Okay, that's it.
It's I think it's like, in simple terms, I think it's like half Mizrahi, half Ashkenazi.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is that a birthday thing?
Yeah, that's you know how old I was when I realized that Hebrew happy birthday song doesn't have the same melody as others. Happy birthday song. I like all my life I was like happy birthday, and then Hayom Yom, and then I never realized that those are not. I thought it's the same melody until somebody said like try. I was like, wait, it's not the same melody.
But they're saying happy birthday because it's also Noah's father's.
It's her father's, yeah.
Birthday, right?
69.
Yeah. That's such a beautiful birthday present. Can you imagine?
I know, right? I think this is what I said on my live, is like, we should appreciate things we already have.
Yeah. Nice.
כולם שיחזרו, אמן.
Very, 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 very nice. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. So for those not aware how this happened, I saw somebody asking in the chat earlier as well. Really, Shona Thornton, you made a super chat for this joke. She speaks hillbilly Georgian. No. By Georgian, we're referring to the country of Georgia.
I saw hillbillies on Georgia.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, when I was like, I went on, I was like, hey, Mama, I saw hillbillies. They're real. They exist. Like I saw a full family that is teethless. Like nobody, like the baby didn't have teeth. The parents didn't have teeth. The grandparents didn't have teeth. Like nobody of they all lacked their teeth. And I was like, oh my God, it's like, I've seen it. It's a real thing. I've seen hillbillies.
That's cool. It's actually called hillbillies, but I don't want to correct you because when you say hillbillies, it sounds even funnier. So, yeah. Anyway, so I was saying, somebody asked exchange or rescue. It was a rescue mission, and we want to get into the details of the rescue mission as well. In fact, somebody earlier sent me, just before I was going live, sent me a timeline of how things went down, and this is from a translation from the Hebrew, from where is that? From a Hebrew Telegram channel. I'm not sure if it's an official channel or not. Oh yeah, taken from an Israeli Telegram news channel. So I also want to use some of the sources, which not the Washington Post. Disgusting. So Israel rescues 4 hostages taken in Hamas's October 7 attack, and 210 Palestinians are reported killed. Of course, we always have to point out here that when it says reported, you should always read this as according to Hamas. So Hamas claims so many people were killed. It sounds a little bit absurdly unrealistic, to be honest, at first, that they went in and completely without harm rescued 4 hostages, and then
Hey, we lost one Yamam fighter.
oh yeah, you did, yeah. Okay, one Yamam is the
You know what is the
special
Yamam?
forces for
It's the most special forces we have here. Maybe
yeah.
them and the Shabak. It's the police. It's not the army. It's not the
It is
IDF.
it is a counterterrorism unit that is also very active in rescuing hostages and special military operations. But
It's special
beyond that,
tourism.
it is just special forces of a very, very special kind. But one Yamam officer was died in the attack, right? Died in the operation. He was injured, I
Yeah.
think, and later on died. Yeah.
Bullet to his head.
Yeah, but so they say 210 Palestinians killed. I also saw on Hamas's Arabic Telegram channel. At first, they started with 60 dead, then 80 dead, then 100 dead, then 200 to 220 dead. I don't know how this is happening, but the latest is currently they're saying that during this inhuman and cruel operation, which was a massacre, 220 Palestinians have been martyred, including children and defenseless women, and 400 more are injured. Who knows what is going to happen to them? Of course, these are just things that Hamas says. I personally don't buy it at all. People generally don't buy it. The media reports that this is what Hamas is reporting, what Hamas Gaza health authorities are reporting. There is no way to verify that, and even the UN says that there is no way to verify these claims. All they do is just to relay what Hamas says. It might
No,
be. It might be actually not 210 Palestinians. It might be 2 million Palestinians killed during this one rescue operation. That's probably more accurate. So Israel on Saturday carried out its largest hostage rescue operation since the latest war with Hamas began, taking 4 to safety out of central Gaza in a heavy air and ground assault. At least 210 Palestinians, including children. See, why do they have to buy the Hamas language and propaganda and include this, because Hamas says it too, into their reports, including children, were killed, a Gaza health official said. This is propaganda. It's just pure propaganda. We don't even know anything about who died and who didn't die. But because Hamas says, including children and women, we have to. They have to include these things into these reports. What actually happened?
There must have been children. They wear children, like vests made of children to protect themselves.
Oh yeah. They that's true. The issue is also
so for every Hamas fighter, he has like one child at the back, one child in the front, and 2 that walk beside him to cover up the sides.
Yeah. So we can't deny that that civilians, innocent civilians, depends on how you define that, but that children and women died. However, that's quite normal because the 4 hostages that were rescued were not in some remote military facility, were not underground in tunnels. They were in regular civilian buildings in a city called Nusayrat, which is actually designated as a refugee camp. So they say, "Oh, this is a refugee."
They do it everywhere. They're like, those are not refugee camps. Those are all just cities or neighborhoods.
Yes,
but
yes.
they keep the name anyway for centuries.
It's also interesting to actually to look into why it is called a refugee camp. So Nusayrat is a regular settlement, a regular city, densely populated, has a large so-called refugee population. The reason that they call it refugee is that much of the population first consisted of people who, during the 1948 war, went from places that are now part of Israel to this place and settled there. And they are given the promise since then today still that one day they will move to what is right now Israel and live there, and that that this will ideally happen after Israel is destroyed and the Jews are removed. Then they will go there. So this is what they mean by
And then
refuge.
they'll go to Israel, realize this land is a piece of crap, and go to Europe where it's way better.
You know what? This is actually a very good point, and that's exactly
true.
how
That's
it.
what's gonna happen. The
That's
only
exactly.
thing that makes this land good is the Jews. If the Jews are removed, this land is
You're saying that, but
useless.
it's not even. It's not even
I know.
inaccurate
I know.
because the land was useless before the
Oh yeah, it
before
was. Yeah.
before the Zionist movement at the beginning of the last century intensely invested and started building it. It was underdeveloped. It didn't have anything. It was empty. It was a mess. It was full of diseases and so on.
As half of the Jewish population died of malaria in the beginning. Malaria and other diseases. And when it wasn't malaria, there were tribes going around and looting.
Oh yeah, that too.
And just
The Jews built what is now Israel. So when these pro-Palestine people go
and there
out
were 0 trees. Every tree that you see was planted by Jews.
so
All of them.
when they say this is our land, they stole our land, we want our land back, what they are actually doing is they are claiming something that the Jews, that the Israelis built. They want to just sit on that. They want to grab that and claim that. And based on what Zionists, based on what Jews built, they want to just benefit from that and want to kick the Jews out. And what happens when that happens? They will just ruin it again.
I just wonder if they want to do the boring stuff too. Are they ready to fill up the roles of like the sewer management and the and the agricultural system and work like the desalination plants? Like, are they ready for those? Like, it's because it's boring after that. It's like you take over and then you have to maintain it.
They probably use the sewage system for rockets and things like that, for military operations, to fight. They would probably use all the facilities to blow themselves up. I don't know, do things like that. Never going to happen anyway. Never going to happen anyway. But it is an interesting thought project, right? If suddenly Israel disappeared completely today, but everything remained as it is, all the buildings and everything that was built, but the whole Israeli Jewish population suddenly disappeared into thin air, would this lead to a prosperous, beautiful Palestine? No, it wouldn't. It would turn into a huge mess and into a bloodbath very, very quickly. Yeah. So Israelis were jubilant as the army set it free to Noah Argamani, 26, Almogmir John. How do you say this? How do you say these names? How do you say this name, Rebecca?
Almogmir. I don't know if it's Jan or John. Depends.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one who is ignorant here. That's good. 22, Andrei Kozlov, 27, and Shlomi Ziv, 41, in a daytime operation in the heart of Nusayrat, raiding 2 locations at once while under fire. All were well, the military said. They were taken by helicopter for medical checks and tearful reunions with loved ones after 246 days held. 246 days. She was one of the most memorable people kidnapped from the festival site, and so on. Netanyahu vowed to continue the fighting until all hostages are freed. The operation was daring in nature, planned brilliantly, and executed in an extraordinary fashion, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said. Apparently, they planned this for many weeks. They
canceled it several times before they actually went through with it.
Yeah. They identified the locations, made all kinds of assessments. Different departments worked together silently, quietly, in preparation, made many different strategies, different plans to carry out this operation. Eventually found the moment. I think the report was that they found an opportune moment because of something, I don't know, and decided, okay, now is the time. Operation starting now. So they did it. And they did it perfectly. All 4 hostages saved without harm. Unfortunately,
Yep.
one officer of the special forces has died, but the operation is successful. Fantastic. Of course, the other side started calling it a massacre and a bloodbath immediately. But here is the issue.
They got them out and in out of like, don't fight back then, don't shoot. Let the hostages go out. Let them go without resisting. Less bloodbath. For everybody would like.
The
Cool.
IDF,
We found
ISA,
them, hand
and
them
special
over.
forces.
Isn't it better?
Yeah.
Less blood.
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
shoot back?
They underwent intensive training. They risked their lives to save the lives of our hostages. This is what we do in Israel, Hagari said. Very, 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 very nice. Very nice. Oh, yeah. One IDF fighter commander, Arnon Zamora, was killed during the hostage rescue, Israeli police said in a statement on social media.
Yeah. Yamam fighter. Yes.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas called for an emergency UN Security Council session to discuss what he called the bloody massacre that was carried out by the Israeli forces. This guy is so pathetic. Mahmoud Abbas.
His thesis was an Holocaust denial.
Yeah. And the thing is, he's not even involved in the war.
He's a doctor.
Or at least directly, because he is in charge of the West Bank, where nobody likes him. Nobody wants him. The people themselves don't want him. They actually want Hamas instead.
They do.
He's commenting on these things, sometimes condemning Hamas, sometimes just accusing Israel of committing a massacre while he's sitting over there and policing the people in the West Bank, in Judea and Samaria, and acting like he's a legitimate president and a good guy. What a pathetic weasel. But yeah, so he made the statement. Of course, the good thing is you can see as a result of this operation, you can see that over the last weeks, there has been a lot of controversy. Israel has been under fire internationally so much, so many calls to stop all operations and so on. Israel doesn't care. I said it many times. Many others have said it many times. Everyone can talk. The world can talk. People can talk as much as they want right now. There is a situation on the ground where Israel is in no position to listen to the world, the rest of the world, no matter who is speaking. Israel will not care. They will rescue their own people.
Sometimes I think we're just lucky. So many Israelis don't even speak English to know.
Nice. Uncertainty around Nusayrat, the death toll, and so on. There are different aspects that I want to talk about when it comes to this operation. And I made some notes. I also got this timeline of what exactly occurred. So let me have a look at that quickly. So Thursday, 6:30 p.m. After meticulous planning drills, models, and advanced intelligence tracking that lasted for many weeks, the political echelon approves the operation initially named Summer Seeds. The approval was given in a classified discussion under heavy compartmentalization and waiting for the right moment. Saturday, 10 a.m., 2 main spearhead teams jumped from several directions disguised as Arabs toward the Nusayrat refugee camp near the beach. The forces moved secretly in broad daylight to the 2 buildings where the hostages were held. Among thousands of Palestinians and hundreds of terrorists from the local Hamas battalion who do not notice them. According to the Palestinians, the forces entered using a humanitarian aid truck, and Al Jazeera even published footage of it with IDF vehicles, likely from moments after the operation. The IDF denied this and also denied using the American pier later. Because because this is also one of the claims. Special ground observations at 10:45 and technological surveillance tools from Air Force aircraft identify that the area is clear and there is no suspicious movement in the two buildings, 3 to 4 floors high. In one of them, Noah Argamani was held, and in the other, the three other hostages, along with Gaza families and armed guards. This is very important. This is a very important point here. So,
By the way, the official Hamas policy, they kill any hostage if they see a IDF soldier even hundreds meters away. Their official stance is that if they spot an IDF soldier a kilometer, up to I think 1 kilometer or something like that, they have to kill the hostages.
and you see how scumbags like this one here approve that, right? Syrian girl said, if an IDF prisoner of war tries to escape imprisonment, Palestinians are well within their right to shoot them under international law. The fact that 4 IDF terrorists are now free in the world is a terrible tragedy that must be avoided at all costs in future.
None of them were IDF.
Yeah. There are so many things to say about this. But so this disgusting person here, of course, makes another post that is typical of her because she's a disgusting individual. But several things to correct here. None of the 4 rescued hostages were active soldiers. So they are not considered prisoners of war under international law at all. Trying to escape does not mean that that they are in any position to immediately shoot them. There is no such thing under international law. But again, the hostages saved were not active soldiers, fighters, or anything like that. So they are not prisoners of war. They are by definition innocent, civilian, non-combatant hostages. Taking them is a direct violation of international law. It's a war crime without discussion, without any ambiguity. It's a war crime. The fact that 4 IDF terrorists, she says, it's very interesting because nobody in the world recognizes the IDF as a terrorist organization. Half the world recognizes Hamas as terrorist.
The way the world is going, it's gonna be something that will be also called like. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, probably won't go there. Probably won't go there. Things seem a little bit darker right now than they actually are. So she's very sad that these hostages were saved by Israel. She's very sad, very upset. She thinks they should have been shot and killed as they were being rescued.
Right.
This is the kind of individuals that we are dealing with who also support the sickness of Hamas. Anyway, let's see. 10:50 a.m. The information and live documentation of the alleys hundreds of meters long that separate the two targets are transmitted to screens in the 2 command posts from which the operation was commanded. The Shin Bet in central Israel, with the presence of service head Ronan Bar and chief of staff Herzi Halevi, and the southern command in Beersheba, from where the command chief managed to support and rescue forces. 10 a.m. The 2 teams on the ground receive the go order, personally approved in real time by the Shin Bet head and the chief of staff. They assault the buildings simultaneously and in full coordination at the same second to prevent the terrorists at the second target from discovering it, which would endanger the hostages. So it's not just one target, it's 2 buildings, 2 separate buildings, and they simultaneously go into both of them at the same time to eliminate any threats and any suspicion and to secure the hostages as quickly as possible. 11:10 a.m. While the elimination of the terrorists guarding Argamani and her rescue proceed relatively smoothly, the operation in the second building is much more complicated. Commander Zamora's team reports being hit in the exchange of fire. The fighters who eliminated the terrorists at the target treat their commander and try to save him while exiting the building under increasing fire. 11:15. The radio reports the message everyone was waiting for. The diamonds are in our hands. meaning the hostages are with us. Really? Is that how they communicated that? That's funny. That's nice. That's nice. 11:20 a.m. Under the cover of the delay, dozens of terrorists gather around the building where the 3 hostages were held, and hundreds more armed men approach from all directions with RPG launchers, PK machine guns, and Kalashnikov rifles. They run through the crowded alleys and nearby market filled with thousands of Gazans. 11:22, the forces attempt to escape in the rescue vehicle, but it is hit by heavy fire and begins to falter. Southern Command Chief Yaron Finkelman then activates the pre-prepared rescue plan. Air Force fighter jets and helicopters launch dozens of munitions at the terrorists to isolate the scene. Hundreds of soldiers from the 7th Armored Brigade, paratroopers, Givati and Kiffer brigades, who were placed as reinforcements, are deployed on foot and in tanks and Namer APCs into the refugee camp, while Navy ships provide cover from the west. This is very this puts things into perspective, because the whole pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine, anti-Zionist camp, they are all acting like this is an inhuman massacre. They risked the lives of so many Palestinians just to save 4 people. Excuse me, this is a military operation. A military operation to save lives of hostages in a civilian populated area, which Hamas organized and arranged. Hamas are the ones who put these hostages into the middle of civilians, into civilian buildings, and they are the ones who started shooting and fighting back against the Israeli forces which came here to rescue them, as a result of which fighting ensued to save everyone's lives. Honestly, I don't care how many people died as a result of such an operation. Nobody cares how many people died as a result of such an operation. Yes, nobody cares, and nobody has to care about how many people die as a result of such an operation. It is an operation that is being conducted where the IDF, where the Israeli side, bears no responsibility to say, "Oh, let's make sure that when we shoot back and defend ourselves and defend our people, we don't kill too many people." No, they are under fire while trying to rescue their own civilians. Who the hell are you? It doesn't
That's what I
matter.
said. If they let the people go out peacefully,
Yeah.
then
Again, nobody cares, and nobody has to care about how many civilian casualties, how many people die as a result of this operation, because any casualties on the other side are a result of what Hamas has done here.
where is this? Where is this from?
This is somebody very helpful, probably here, I don't know, sent me this summary translated from an Israeli Telegram channel and sent it to me.
Yeah, that would
It's
sounds
helpful.
like something that makes sense if it was in Hebrew originally.
The assault, the rescue, and the announcement, the diamonds in our hands, minute by minute, in Operation Ammon, something. So this is what I received. I'm just going by that, and it's very helpful, very helpful. The reinforcement forces and Air Force successfully isolate the main combat area, providing a safe escape route for the main force with the 3 hostages. Southern Command authorizes an exceptional move, or helicopters to land for rescue deep inside the Gaza Strip, covered by fighter jets. The aerial fire hits the terrorists, dozens of meters from the soldiers. You see how much preparation, how many resources, how much effort, how much time, how much funds, everything has gone into this single operation to save these 4 people, to save these 4 lives. This is how important it is.
But think about how many rats came out of their holes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. That's also good.
This is what Israel does. Israel puts all of their resources and all of their efforts into rescuing these people, saving lives. What does Hamas do on the other side? Hamas deliberately leaves their own civilians exposed and unprotected to sacrifice them while killing the Jews. Animals. 11:50, the last of the special forces climb aboard the helicopters which take off to hospitals in Israel. Efforts to resuscitate Commander Zamora continue in the air, but he's pronounced dead at the hospital. Reinforcement forces from IDF brigades continue to engage the terrorists in the perimeter of the operation and eliminate dozens more of them until the end of the operation. 1:33 p.m., the IDF, Shin Bet, and police officially announced the rescue of the 4 hostages, and spontaneous celebrations began both in Israel and among Israelis abroad. Very, very, very nice. This is so good. It's so good.
That's nice.
It's so good.
It's incredible. Like, look at what happened, what unfolded, and you can see like how AP, like, is it AP? What's the AP, like Associated Press?
Yeah, the other AP.
Like how was it treated there, right? It's like they're basically Hamas.
Yeah. They're
Like
they're propagating the
like,
propaganda.
did they mention dozens of terrorists like waiting outside, like once they like, you know, when they try to get out, or that there are the terrorists with RPGs outside, or that like those terrorists and were started shooting, running inside the civilian population themselves?
Yeah. Oh wait, this is funny. So I received the
Like,
translation.
did it say any of that?
No, it didn't. Look, I received a translation from somebody else, but I just went to the source of the reporter, Yoav He actually, this is actually published on Ynet News and has the very same breakdown with their own translation. So the whole breakdown of the entire operation, how it all went down, can also be found here in English, originally in Hebrew, but also translated on the English website. Maybe I should link this in the description, actually, so that people can look at it themselves as well. Very, very nice source, something that you just don't see on the international global media when talking about the conflict. As Rebecca just pointed out, when you go on these regular news channels, what you see is 4 hostages rescued, so many killed according to Hamas, and you don't see anything else. When you look at
don't
the
say like
details of what's interesting, then you understand why there are casualties.
like they late like we don't even know. Was it the RPGs that Hamas were shooting that hit all those civilians?
We will never know. We will never, never, ever know.
Yeah, I wonder how it happened.
We will never, ever, never, ever know. Okay, I'm putting this in the description.
Tens of it described it 10 of terrorists and hundreds of armed people, and with RPG, PKs, and Kalashnikovs. Crazy.
Okay, I pinned it in the chat so that everyone can access it and read it for themselves there. I also put it in the description. This is very, very important, a very crucial thing to look into. If you just look at this, you will be probably better informed than most news sources, to be honest.
I don't know if they have it in English yet, but there are some stories that came out from the actual, like, what they said, that they were forced to read the Quran. This is the title. Yeah. The hostages were forced to read the Quran.
That's interesting.
And Nas was with other 2 hostages that were killed.
Well. So anyway,
and they also had to learn Hadith.
They did.
They were forced to study the Hadith. Yeah.
So the thing is, there's a lot of stuff that is going to happen now behind the scenes, where all of the 4 hostages that were rescued today will be they will be undergoing medical treatment. medical assessments, psychological, psychiatrical assessments. We'll meet with all kinds of different people, from lawyers to different humanitarian organizations and so on. And much of what is happening in the background, especially analyzing what they exactly experienced within Gaza when they were there, and how their health is, how their psychology was affected, whether they experienced abuse and so on. Most of this stuff will be kept hidden from the public and
Yeah,
will be kept secret
sure.
for the entirety of this war, as long as there are still hostages inside Gaza, and possibly even permanently, unless there is a very, very good reason for these things to be brought out, and unless the hostages and their families actually agree to make these things public. We have,
Or
for
choose
example,
to.
or choose to, we have, for example, when this UN envoy went to Israel several months ago, they reported that they have very, very credible evidence that most definitely Hamas committed sexual assault and sexual abuse and all kinds of different things against civilians in Israel, and also against hostages within Gaza when they were holding them. However, they have. Most of the information that they have is just information obtained from experts, from medical, people, from experts, from authorities, and so on, and information that they will not make public, but which they hold in their hands in order to use if it comes to such a situation where Israel has to, where it will be beneficial, or where Israel has to show evidence of what actually happened and what Hamas actually did. Lots of what happened is not made public by Israel, and this is the difference between Israel and Hamas, or Israel and Gaza, to be honest. Where as soon as somebody's foot is hurt, they publish it and cry about how Israel did this and this and that to us. On the other hand, all kinds of atrocities are committed against Israel, and Israel is just keeping it from the public right now because it serves no proper purpose except just gaining sympathy for a very
Yeah, it's
short
not
time.
like, also like, we already know that the people that are against us, it's not because they think that we don't get, like, it's because they rejoice, like they rejoice seeing us. Like there
Yeah,
is no point. It's not that they care about the truth. It's not like they care about the Palestinians. They don't care about anything. They just want to see us like dead. Like this is what makes them happy.
yeah, that's the thing. This is what has been where I have been conflicted on talking about the things that happened or that they did to Israelis
Yeah,
on
we
that day.
talked about it when you were here, and this is what I
Yeah,
told you back then,
I
that
remember you said something.
you are wrong to think that like it has it makes any difference, because those are people who would want to do it themselves, like given
Yeah,
the chance.
you also said something very, very harsh, which is in my mind. But you said that if we show these people what Hamas actually did on that day, they would deny it, justify it, or they would masturbate to it. That's what you said to me, and
Yeah.
it's true. It's true, at least mentally. That's what you are dealing with, these absolutely sick, wicked people. There is just no point in showing it in trying to prove everything that happened on that day.
Yeah.
Man.
It's also, I saw some comments about them looking too good, as like, how come they look so good when they got rescued?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if, like, do you want me to address that? Because what I'm gonna say is gonna be super brutal. Like super, super brutal, not towards, like, I can explain why they look relatively good. Like if
Yeah.
you think straight for a second.
Well, I can think of one reason, which is publicity, and why they take special care of.
Well, it's not, it's more technical than that. How long
Okay.
do you think people can survive starving? How long do you know that like excessive, grape is deadly? They can only survive several months. If it's if it's done daily, those they die after several months. Like just reality, just the way that our body is built. How long do you think we can go without food? How long, like it's either you keep people fed and you do it like in everything in moderation, like torture in moderation. There is a limit to how long a body can survive at all. Like,
Yeah.
that's why it's like, if they're not being fed at all, they're just gonna go away. They're not gonna be any hostages.
Yeah, you want to take care of the people that you're using and abusing, and
Yeah, and rape is
sexually
deadly.
abusing.
Rape
Yeah,
is deadly. Is
yeah,
deadly, and active is you people die.
yeah. Here's one photo that stood out to me, where you can clearly see that Coca-Cola supports the Jews. So if you buy Coca-Cola, it means you're supporting the Jews. It's so stupid. This just reminds me of dumb propaganda that I heard when I was a child about Coca-Cola and all kinds of products. But it's very nice to see them get together and just be happy. It's very, very good. Israeli Twitter account said this morning in a joint special operation held by the IDF, ISA, and Israeli police, 4 Israeli hostages were rescued from Gaza. They are in good medical condition and have been transferred to the Sheba Tel HaShomer Medical Center for further medical examinations. The 4 were kidnapped by the Hamas terrorist organization from the Nova Music Festival on October 7. So again, lots of people will say stuff like, oh, these were soldiers, they were IDF, of course, prisoners of war. No. They were directly captured from the Nova Music Festival. Directly taken from there. They were there having fun. They were there celebrating, living their daily lives. And then they were taken by these Hamas terrorists who killed nearly 400 people at that festival and captured many others. The hostages were rescued from 2 separate locations in the heart of Nusayrat. The security forces will continue to make every effort to bring the hostages home. This is just so good to hear. Very, very good to hear. I remember this man from this video. In fact, I have it somewhere here, but it's good to see the before and after. You have this as a very iconic image here. And so on.
Yeah, it's absolutely heroic and insane, and they went through stuff. I'm like, she saw 2 of hostages die.
Yeah. I have been wanting to say something like this here all day long. I just kind of got that, but then I saw her tweet about this, and I thought, yeah, perfect. The difference between the jihadist death cult in Gaza and a culture that celebrates life in Israel. This is really how it is. You see how one side celebrates when people are rescued. The other side celebrates when people are killed. It's very, very easy to see which side wants bloodshed and which side wants life. It's so good. So good. Full of joy.
It's so weird.
What is weird?
Just looking, like, I know you, like, in outside, like, don't get to interact with them, but a lot of times they just didn't have a choice, you know?
What are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
Like the Gazans.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to talk about them?
Like, yeah, because today I met someone who was in the special forces, and I asked him, "What are the Gazans like?"
Hmm.
And then he said, "There are good people there, but they're being brainwashed and they're being indoctrinated, and you can see that.
Yeah,
But there are also good people
definitely,
inside of that."
definitely. I mean, we're talking about humans, right? We're not talking about some entity that is beyond human nature, that is like complete animals, complete monsters, whatever it is. No matter what enemy you're fighting, on the other side, you are fighting other humans who are being misled and who believe in some really sick, really messed up ideas. There are lots of people, of course, on the other side as well, who will be, in essence, good people and who, I don't know, don't want anything bad, but
But like, why wouldn't they celebrate like that? Why wouldn't they though?
you mean like this when hostages are
Yeah,
kidnapped?
because this is something I keep saying. Morals and this behavior, this is the natural state of humanity. We can, like, in a way, it is. And all the morals that Jews and other, but let's be honest, that Judaism brought to the world were not were 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 unique. Were
Yeah,
unique. Were
yeah.
different. They changed the world. But think about how long it took, how much bloodshed there was until the morals that Judaism had brought became the obvious thing. Which I checked, like I didn't find anything similar to that anywhere.
Yeah, you probably had different cultures that introduced different things. But with Judaism,
No morality. There was
with
no morality
with
there.
Judaism, what is unique is that the Jewish people had a very sophisticated, very good aspect of.
Judaism brought the concept of equality before the law. It didn't
Okay, but
exist
so
before
yeah,
that.
but so the Hebrew people, the Jewish people, had a very sophisticated way of writing it down and collecting it and turning it into the basic essential law. And this is unique. Yeah, you probably can't find much that you can compare to that in history. The issue is with Gaza, with especially with a mostly Muslim population, you will not have much of that morality because people call Islam an Abrahamic religion. People say Abrahamic religions. Islam's only claim to being an Abrahamic religion is that it started adopting these narratives from Judaism and somewhat from Christianity, but it doesn't descend from the Jewish, from the Israeli lineage. It doesn't descend from that. It has no
It's
connection,
not like
natural
Christianity.
connection to it. Yeah,
It's
it's not
not
like
like Christian.
Christianity. It is not naturally part of that culture. It doesn't come from that culture. It comes from a completely foreign, completely different culture, and tries to claim that it is Abrahamic, tries to claim that it comes from the same source, but it doesn't. So it's lacking. It doesn't have the same morality. It doesn't have the same values. It doesn't have a solid foundation. This is what Judaism has. It is what Christianity develops in a different way. Islam doesn't have it at all. Which is why.
But if you read like the draconian laws that were in Greece or the law system everywhere else, they had the exact same kind of thinking, the exact same. Like even in Japan and Korea until World War II, what kind of like. It's like it's and I saw this. We saw like Dancing with the Stars, and there was one person then that is Muslim. He converted to Judaism, but and I see it a lot. Like a lot of Muslims that they start like they get to see the Torah and they choose to convert to Judaism. These people never had the choice to even see it.
I remember you saying that there was a video that you made, which was kind of you said a lot of things that you said to me in person when we were talking when I was in Israel, but you were talking about how in Islamic culture and in Gaza, in this case, there is a big lack of actual morality, and that they don't really have values in a proper sense. And you said
They
that
don't.
you said they would all be better off if they all just converted to Christianity. At least they would have some values.
And yeah, I said it in a video. But I think
I
it
agree.
would be for them. It would be harder to convert to Christianity than Judaism.
Yeah,
To be honest,
probably. Why?
I think
Wait,
it's
why?
harder. It's farther away. It's not farther, but it's like
Okay, I want to ask why, but then we'll go into a whole
it's too
long
hard.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, you can continue not eating pork, but
Okay. But yeah, let's see. So here is the commander Zamora who died as a part of this operation that was conducted today successfully. Much respect to him and to everyone who was involved in the operation. It took a lot, but they did a fantastic job. They did an absolutely fantastic job and brought joy and hope to so many people who really needed this right now. And yeah, they did fantastic work. Wait a minute. Now here's what the IDF says about casualties. Let's look at this report here. According to the Times of Israel, IDF says under 100 Palestinian casualties, including terrorists, in rescue operation. Hamas claims 210 martyrs. Of course. IDF spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari says its forces came under intense fire during the rescue operation in Gaza's Nusayrat and that they responded by firing from the air and from the street. We know about under 100 Palestinian casualties. I don't know how many of them are terrorists, he says in a briefing with journalists reported by Reuters. Oh, I already can see that how some people will jump on this and will say, what do you mean you don't know how many are terrorists? Yes. They were in a very intense operation where from within Gaza, among the terrorists, people started intensely firing at the IDF. How do you expect the IDF to know how many of the dead as a result of this brutal operation were terrorists and how many were not?
to be honest,
Don't
I
say
don't
it.
like when Israeli news outlets and play this game, like they play this game where they're like responding to why there were 210 dead. Like I don't like it. Like just say what really happened, like how they were like surrounded by dozens of terrorists and everything like that, and use that as your title, not like on this kind of responsive, like meek kind of.
Could you say that it's also the Israeli government and the officials in charge may also wrongly do this whole trying to explain game a little
Some
bit,
do,
aside
yeah.
from the media? Because I think so one good thing is, like, for example, 2 days ago when this operation was made against the former UNRWA school, the IDF didn't care at all, or Israel didn't care at all. They just published the facts about it, while Hamas was making all kinds of ridiculous claims, and they just moved on. That's it. It was perfect. Today, this was done as well, but there are some additional efforts to point out, so many, we don't know how many terrorists this and this happened. But yeah, you're right. I actually said this as well when I was in Israel, and when we were at the JNS interview, I said that Israel collectively needs to stop with the way of thinking that they have to somehow explain or have to somehow respond to certain accusations, that they have to explain themselves. It's not necessary, and it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. Trying to explain yourself in the face of things like this, it doesn't really matter at all. Because people won't change their minds. They don't care about the facts. They're doing this
Yeah.
whole game because they want to accuse Israel. That's it. Israel should just do what is necessary, lay down the facts, and that's it. They're doing a great job at that. And I think Israel also nowadays cares much less about this whole aspect of explaining than they did in the past. In the past, it was much more common for Israel to try to explain what actually happened, what transpired, and so on. I think they care less and less about that compared to a few decades ago. What do you think?
I think it's like it's like it's like a sinus function. They remember and forget, remember and like they relearn every time. I think you can plot it and see it's just like a sine function, like, oh, what are we doing? We should be doing that, and then it's like they forgot to like go back and relearn, and like this is how it is.
Let's see, bringing them home. The moment we rescued 3 of the 4 hostages from the heart of Gaza. Oh, they just posted a footage of them being put on a helicopter. That's it. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Let's see what Hagari said. You know what's very stupid? The UN Secretary bastard guy, Antonio Guterres, whatever, he actually said something like that he's relieved that hostages were saved. And the one question that just came to my mind immediately is that guy also has been calling for ceasefire, immediate ceasefire, ceasing of operations for a long time now. Had Israel listened to him, this rescue operation would have never happened, and these hostages wouldn't have been saved, wouldn't have been rescued. So how in the world does he come out, this two-faced bastard, and express relief for the rescuing of hostages?
Do you know, have you ever seen the Swedish UN offer after the independence war, that
No.
what they wanted?
No.
So they offered to negotiate peace with us and the Arabs, and their offer included giving up the Negev and the Galil, which were part of the territory that was assigned to Israel by the partition plan.
Yeah.
So the UN came to Israel after they won the independence war, and tried to force them to make peace by giving up a land that was already designated to them after, of course, Jordan was given in 1922 to the Arabs. And then even after that, they split Israel with the partition plan. And then after the partition, after Israel already declared independence and won the war, the UN tried to give away parts of Israel that were, inside the Israeli areas in the partition plan to the Arabs.
That's pretty sick.
Like they would do anything. And I don't know when the day will come that they would actually dirty their hands if they could have. I think maybe after the Holocaust it was a bit sensitive, just 3 years after they rescued those Jews that were just they were found 3 years ago in the death camps, and then they had nowhere else to go in the world, and then they were held as detainees in Cyprus, and then they swam their way to Israel and then they had to fight 7 Arab armies, and then after that the UN tried to get it's like maybe they felt just like they couldn't dirty their hands with it because it was a bit too much on the nose. But I don't know, to me, I always wish that they would wait for all those people who still survived the Holocaust before they return to their ways, but they didn't even bother doing that.
Yeah, but I just have one question. I just have one thing to consider. So looking at this map, the Negev is just roughly
this part
to the south.
All of that.
Wouldn't it be reasonable to just to say, okay, we agree to a Palestinian state, but not here. So this will all be part of Israel, but a part of the Negev desert will be given
That's
to
a terrible idea.
as an Israeli state. As a
No.
Palestinian state.
It cuts us off from the Red Sea. That's a stupid strategic thought.
Well, you don't have to go all the way. You could like do a little part here, maybe, like here or here.
Why,
or
if
like
there is such a nice sea next to us, why give them the desert? What about the blue part? We can build an island or something if we're nice.
That's a good point. Let's listen to this.
This morning at 11 a.m., Israeli Special Forces conducted complex hostage rescue mission and successfully rescued 4 of our hostages from Hamas captivity in Gaza. Noar Gamani, Almog Meir Jan, Shlomi Ziv, and Andrei Kozlov. They are back home in Israel. They are alive. They are well. They will undergo medical examination and will soon be reunited with their families in the hospital. Noah, Almog, Andrei, and Shlomi were rescued after 246 days in Hamas captivity after they were brutally kidnapped from the Nova Musical Festival on the 7th of October. This was a high-risk complex mission based on precise intelligence conducted in daylight in 2 separate buildings deep inside Gaza. While under fire inside the buildings, under fire on the way out from Gaza, our forces rescued our hostages. Israeli forces have been preparing for this rescue mission for weeks.
This is a good point because here Milas recorded in AP's room. This is true. This Hagari was actually speaking here in front of the same.
And you're almost wearing the same shirt. So
yeah, look, I'm even wearing an IDF shirt here. Look, Israeli Defense Forces. This is not a coincidence.
Now I want to wear something. Why are you the only one?
They underwent intensive training. They risked their lives to save the lives of our hostages. This is what we do in Israel. We risk our lives.
That's what they do.
The lives of our hostages. While we are.
That's what they do. Israel saves lives. That's what they do. You know what Hamas does? They do
urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Yeah.
While we are happy that our 4 hostages are home, we will not lose sight that 120 hostages are still being held by Hamas in Gaza. Men, women, children. When we say that we will do everything to bring our hostages back home, we mean it. We will not stop fighting for their freedom. Any other decent country in the world would do the same. This morning,
this is pretty good. This is very solid. No kind of trying to appease anyone. No kind of explanation. No kind of we had to do this or this and that. No, proudly, we conducted an operation. It was a successful operation. It was a necessary operation, and we will do it again.
Yes.
That's
the only thing way to go.
Yes. This is
media.
Good.
Israeli media.
The only thing that is missing here in his announcement is this.
We're proud of that.
Yeah. If he added that would have been even better. That was pretty good, man. Pretty good. So just listening to Hagari's announcement here was very, very nice. According to AFP, the Hamas media office claims 210 martyrs were killed and over 400 were injured, accuses the IDF of a massacre and of engaging in brutal and savage aggression on Nusayrat camp. Isn't it so funny when Hamas is the side that actually accuses you of being of savage aggression, of brutal and savage aggression?
Well, you know that, I don't know if it was ever published but when they stormed the Sinwar's office, they found notes to the media. And he dictates those things exactly. Like everything was written down, how to talk to the media, how to present it, what's the weakness of the West? What's the weakness of the Israelis? What drives the Israelis crazy? What drives the West? Like what, how to play with the Western like heart, whatever. Like everything was written down. Like it's not. They found those notes and everything. Like that, he is a smart guy. Like he understands the psychology of both the Israelis, the West, and he dictates how to. How to let things like even the videos of the hostages, what they're saying, what things to pressure, who to cooperate within the Israeli media, who to give data to, who to give. All those things are like what news channel will be the one that would say things the way that benefits Hamas the most. Like they're not stupid.
Yeah.
Like this is what I would say. Like they're not stupid. They are smart.
Yeah.
Evil.
In the end, we all know
Yes.
that Hamas are just innocent freedom fighters who are fighting the Zionist colonizer occupation and stuff like that. And they always make that very, very clear with their well memorized, written down narrative.
Like Sinwar has an obsession. He watches all the news in Israel, all of them, all the news channels, all the time, to study the Israeli psychology. He is obsessed. Like he's done it for years. Like just watching all the news channels, all the shows, everything, reading everything.
But why did you guys treat his brain tumor? That's why he's obsessed with Israel now.
No, I mean it was there before. That I don't like this idiotic decision. I don't know. Like maybe they thought it's a cool case study.
Yeah.
For this kind of cancer, maybe like a mice. But they had to execute him after the operation had succeeded. For after the medical knowledge that they've gained, they had to take him to the sewage where he belonged and like leave only a corpse.
So that then Israel didn't do the job right. Then they had to.
Yeah, they stopped in the middle.
Remove the tumor and then get rid of the
exactly. Like see that everything worked. Get our guard. We know how to cure people, and then dispose of him appropriately. Not the way they did. I have much to say.
This is a very nice
Works Agency
video here, but I don't want to play the whole thing because first off, it is a very professionally done video, and actually I could play it, but it's also long. It's a 7 minute.
Also, you are in love with her. I know that.
I am.
Which is something you probably don't say in English, right? It sounds weird.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's like so casual in Hebrew, but
no, I would just say I love her. I told her that as well when I met her in person. But you knew that, right? I mean, you were.
Yeah, I know. You were like starstruck for like so long. All day you were like, oh my God, I noticed. Like all day like that. And you were like, oh,
this is true. I very
this
very
is your
rarely.
zero. Several like the whole time. I was like, oh my God.
I very rarely do like this whole fanboy admiration thing for somebody, but she's just so amazing that I definitely wanted to go and meet her and have an interview with her. I did, and as I was doing it, I told her so many times how fantastic she is.
You turned into the actual emoji with the heart eyes. You actually turned into it.
And afterward, I was like, yeah, this is so good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about it. I did talk about it the whole time that I was in Israel. Yeah, I probably mentioned it to you 1,000 times while I was with you as well.
It's okay. I talk about you the same way. I'm also your fan. So you are her fan. I'm your fan. It's like somebody's my fan. Maybe she is, it's the circle of life.
Yeah. Gideon's World said Dawood got kidnapped by the Winglings. Oh, this is true. It probably happened. Yeah. Sheikh Mike Wingling said, notice David Wood will go to Apologeticon but avoids Comic-Con like a plague because he's afraid of debating the Winker on his turf. Tell him I said he's a weakling. This is a good point. I will tell him that. We'll tell him that. It's funny that this super chat is starting like the way David starts talking. Notice. That's what David always says. Notice. Even like when there's nobody in the room, David says, notice. Our 1 minute super chat, which I for some reason can't see on my screen. I don't even know what it is. Can you see that?
It's
Oh, really?
an emoji of that
So
and
stupid.
Israel.
Even people who join me as a guest can see what the emoji is. I can't see it.
You know, there are different, like the way you do it is different, depends on where you serve.
Yes.
Like this angle and the
Yeah.
where the fingers are located.
Yeah. Because I remember I was in the Turkish gendarmerie, and the way we did it, the way
How
we
did
did
you
it
do
was
it?
like it had to be a completely flat, straight hand where the thumbs are directly next to it to make it completely flat and go like in alignment with your eyebrow here. That's it, like this.
I think it's kind of similar, which
Yeah.
I don't actually remember the
And when you wear a hat, it was supposed to be it was supposed to go to the tip of the hat like that. So very stupid.
Maybe I can see. Maybe there are still the Ottoman residues in our army.
Maybe. Deus Volt Prime said IDF is greater than Allah. Of course. The pagan moon god of Hamas from Hong Kong. Thank you so much. Appreciate this. Iron Kippa said, my fiance dreamed last night that Noah was released and was terribly upset to realize that it was only a dream. A few hours later, Noah was released. Wow. That is nice. That is nice. Benjamin Bell became a YouTube member. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the cult. The Uralic tribe said, I forgot to mention on Rebecca's live that there were a few Hungarian Jews who were among the hostages taken by Hamas, but they were released earlier. So thank you so much to the IDF. God bless you all. Yes. Much respect and much thanks to the IDF for their fantastic work. Benjamin Bell made another super chat. Erkan Apkane said, hello, Shaky Booty. Not sure who you're talking to. Shaky Booty is not here. Ness Ivan said,
I'm not even gonna translate it. It's not even funny.
What does it say? I want to see if it's funny or not.
It's a joke about Bibi and Sarah. Everybody jokes that Sarah is actually the one that's running, but the country, not Bibi. Which in that case, she's doing great.
Oh, okay. I see.
But I think it's just, I don't like it. It's like a Jew's joke.
I see. Okay. Rebecca is a big fan of Bibi. That's why.
No, I mean, my friend studied with one of their sons.
Uh-huh.
This woman is very sleep deprived, let me tell you that. But she would show up for like the school activities herself, for her son.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. Sankey said Rebecca is 3 and already knows Hebrew. Shut up. But AP needs subtitles. Please use some of these shekels to get yourself a Duolingo subscription. I'm not sure if you know what the Rebecca is 3 line is about, but it's because
it's a stupid math thing from the Talmud.
Yes,
which doesn't make sense. They decided to take the numbers seriously and to try to calculate people's ages, which to me is
but
like,
nowadays,
why are you bothering? Do you really believe they died when they were 700 years old?
And nowadays you have Muslim apologists use this whole thing and say Rebecca was 3 years old.
Yeah, nobody buys that anyway.
Yeah,
and it's stuck, as a joke.
Yeah,
because obviously she's like she got like 40 buckets of water out the well. It's like, whoa. And then before she got married to Isaac, her family brought her to ask her if she's interested. She had to have her consent as well, as a very intellectual 3-year-old, and she fell off the camel to hide the fact she wasn't a virgin when she married Isaac. So, or the camel, the horse, or whatever they had there. So that's a lot of weird actions for a 3-year-old. But yeah, it's one of the calculations they did, I think, somewhere.
Shake My Wingling said, "Now you attack hillbillies. May Clitus' curse be upon you." This is beautiful. Beautiful. Shauna Thornton said, "I hate that they always act like women are inherently defenseless or innocent." What? Yeah, it's true. Well, the thing is, I have something on my mind about, yes, so the way they view women, of course, women are
What are we talking about?
about Hamas and Gaza, and you know how they immediately say women and children were also killed. Of course, in their world, women are just these servants who give birth, and that's it, and that's all they do. Of course, it's not the same thing on the Israeli side, where women are not like that at all. Women are tough, aren't they, Rebecca?
I feel defenseless and innocent. I once told it to my brother. I said, "Listen, I'm defenseless and innocent, and like you should be like trying harder to defend me." And he put his arm on my shoulder and said, "I believe in you. You can.
Nice.
You're good enough."
You need to fix your microphone. It cuts out when you laugh. You know that?
I think. Oh.
There's
I
something
think
wrong with your mic. I think when you laugh, it goes too high and it does this clipping or something.
I think I
You
can.
need to
I
take care
can
of that.
change the like the.
Yeah, you need to do that. Pondering Jew says the civilians are all complicit or will be one day. This is a harsh thing to say, which may or may not be true. Sankey, Noah Argamani kidnapper identified as Benjamin Cohen. Leslie Burns said, "If you'd like to visit Israel again, I have a guest room. Hope you didn't miss my email invitation." I probably got it. I got lots of good stuff, good messages, good emails from Israel, so many of them. Since we announced that we want to visit Israel, we kept getting them and still do. I am definitely going to visit Israel again, and thinking actually within the next year, want to have another longer trip this time. And I'm even thinking that there should be multiple trips because there's a lot of stuff to do and a lot of things that need to be done. Plus, the last trip, which was amateurly organized by me and David, was just so rushed that I had to constantly run around, fall asleep, wake up, run around, fall asleep, wake up, run around. Didn't even get to sleep very much. It was a little bit disastrous. Next time I want to make it better. Yeah. Not as unwatchable. How dare you ruin this halal stream, Prophet? You have a woman on. She isn't writing on a whiteboard. How else are we meant to read if she isn't writing? No burqa on either. How am I meant to control myself? Do you know? Did you see that?
Listen, if she was an appropriate wife, she wouldn't know how to write.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. That is. That's a good point.
Can you even see it?
Oh wait, you have one there? Oh, you're
Yeah.
writing on a tablet, is that? I didn't expect it coming from you at all. That was kind of off guard. Shauna Thornton, it was also only valuable before Rome came in. The Romans didn't understand that if they expelled the Jews, the land would cease to be fertile. Yeah, but they had to because the Jews they were just asking to be treated well and be freed, and the Romans couldn't have that. Can't do that. Celeria Rosencroix said, "I hate that too, Shauna. They said 620 casualties total. To imagine the special forces operatives wasted enough time to shoot that many people is farcical. Who would do so while evacuating hostages? Utter nonsense." It's so stupid. It is unrealistic that they actually killed and injured so many people during this operation. And I'm sorry, but if really
I don't know if it's that
got,
hard.
if so many people got hurt,
Somebody
or
like
killed or
fell and
injured,
some people just fell and scratched their knee and stuff.
yeah, that is a big injury, of course. But I must say, if so many people actually got killed or injured, then that just says a lot about them, not about Israel. During a rescue operation, and we have seen the timeline of the rescue operation. It's a very precisely and very well done operation. I mean, if you get hurt during this operation, then you probably have a problem. Yeah, maybe you deserve it. I don't know.
To be honest, like it's kind of like the way they operate. Like I thought, like if the Hamas fighters were serious, why were they wasting time on like they had time to take off their pants, really? And you say you want to conquer the land back? This is unprofessional. Like you're wasting time instead of getting to Tel Aviv.
I mean, there is a video.
Pants off.
There is a video of them, of Hamas just standing in the middle of a road after stopping some vehicles, killing some people. They're just standing there for a long time, maybe for half an hour or so. I don't know, not doing anything, just walking around. Very stupid operation. That's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Yeah. Oh, here I got. So I follow this Hamas Telegram channel. They posted this one thing here, roughly translated. The special forces truck that infiltrated the Nusayrat camp in the middle of the Gaza Strip, which was pretending to be a humanitarian aid truck, but it killed humans and carried out a massacre that claimed the lives of 220 martyrs, including children and defenseless civilian women, and more than 400 wounded. They made many posts like these. This is directly from Hamas's own military official Telegram channel in Arabic. They posted about this repeatedly from the beginning of the operation, hours into it. In fact, if I check right now, they're probably still posting about it. So they took this really in a bad way. They really didn't like what happened today. And they kept crying about how allegedly there was a big massacre and stuff like that. What they don't talk about is that they, Hamas, to reiterate this one more time, kept civilians as hostages in what they call a refugee camp among civilians in civilian buildings. Taking hostages is a war crime. Using civilian buildings for military operations, for things like these, is a war crime. So these are two counts of war crimes for each one of those. Plus, they are thereby responsible by turning this into a legitimate military target for every single person who dies there. This is all on Hamas. So yeah, people can go around and say, "Oh, there are so many people apparently died during this operation." Nobody cares. That's not Israel's fault. It's not Israel's fault how many people died there during this operation. That's it. That's the responsibility. Nobody cares.
When you talk about, I don't say anything. This is how much I don't care, really.
That's very based of you.
It's why I don't answer. It's like, I don't care. I'm gonna let you say those things. I don't wanna.
People make posts like these: 210 killed plus 400 injured to rescue 4. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Free the hostages and shut up. Anyway, Prono22 gifted 5 Apostate Prophet memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Lots of new people now joining and becoming part of the cult, the movement. Misha Margolin, I know someone who knows Almog Jan and someone else who knows Noah. So almost all Israelis are connected.
Yeah.
I know that all Israelis know each other, right? Everybody knows each other.
I actually don't know how close like I'm connected to Mia and Maya.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
I don't know who else.
Yeah. They all know each other. That's a joke that people make in America about different groups. Moo Joe said, "Thank you to whomever gifted me membership. You're a rock star. Very, very nice. And nice to see that, Moo Joe." Sheikh Mike Wingling said, I know you hate Islam, but can we have a minute of humanity for our friend Farfour? His family was hosting foreign students in Nusayrat and he lost contact." Yeah.
Oh.
Much respect to
Oh,
Farfour. 1 minute of silence
oh.
for Farfour, please. Thanks.
But you know, Farfour is like it's an idea. It's not like you take down one Farfour, another Farfour will just resurrect.
Yes, you can't kill ideas.
You cannot kill ideologies.
Yes, yes. Farfours never die.
Mm.
Telegraph, AP, PSE, check out Noni Darwish, former Egyptian Gaza resident whose father was in charge of Fadayin attacks in the 50s. Interesting. We'll check it out. I personally know somebody directly who is Egyptian and who has a lot of family and contacts across Gaza and the West Bank and Israel and Egypt. Somebody who is very, very well connected with people in high places. And that person also happens to be, because of all the things they know, extremely pro-Israel and extremely...
Isn't that a she, or am I confusing?
Who? What? Noni Darwish?
Or am I
What?
confusing? I'm confusing, right? No,
This
it
one,
doesn't matter.
this one is a she. Yes, Noni Darwish is a she. But I
She
know
is a
somebody.
she. Okay.
I know somebody else who is Egyptian and who is very well connected in Egypt and Israel and so on, and heard some really messed up things there. Struggler, check out the brutal story of the gay Hamas commander. I know of it already.
You watched it? It's amazing.
What do you mean?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful video. It's great.
What beautiful video?
It's like it's so real about the way it's working there. The things are working. Yeah. It's not. I don't know if it's like what you would expect from the title. It's more complex than that.
I see. Okay.
Hello.
I know the story, but I see that there is a video which is very big. I'll check it out later.
Was it? I love the at some point he said like, is it Hania or who is it? He said like the high Hamas members but he also has nephews that are in the Israeli army, so it must be one heck of a family meeting. Or something. I was like.
Pam Maram said Hamas went to the UN demanding their hostages back. Yep, their hostages. Legamati Gayan, only out of respect for Rivka, my grandmother's name too, I won't make my piggish remark about vile Syrian girl. I will leave the audience's imagination to run wild. I appreciate that. That.
I don't know if my mind runs wild in the wrong direction, but brother,
Yeah, that's what you think when you think about Syrian girl.
Brother,
I have to play that video every time because I like it.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
This is what you think when you think about Syrian girl.
Yeah.
Ayatollah Khamenei, Fatih Hamad, when he was supposed to be watching the hostages, be like, I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7. This is a GTA San Andreas reference. It's pretty good. Fatwad, pre-Palestine from martyrdom, inshallah soon. Call of Ghidorah. AP, how do you feel about the attempts to use Ukraine as a comparison to Gaza? Also, have both of you watched Piers Morgan's interview with Gabor Mate? I haven't watched it. I always saw the thumbnail of it, but I never really watched it. Maybe I should one day. Because it seems like an interesting thing to actually look at. Maybe I will have a look at that sometime. But what do I feel about the attempt to use Ukraine as a comparison to Gaza? Depends on what you mean. Of which side using Ukraine? There's this whole thing. I was very
Let the Gazans be special. Stop comparing them to our others. When I was young and my parents said, "Why are you not like your cousin?" It hurts, you know. It's like, or if you do something, finally you do something that makes them happy, they're like, "Oh, it's just like your cousin." I'm like,
that is a good point.
let
That's a
the
very,
Gazans be special. Let the Ukrainians be special. Let's not,
that's,
mingle happinesses.
that's a very that is a good point. That is a good point.
Mhm.
But you have to explain to me what exactly which aspect of this comparison you want me to comment on. Ukraine has nothing to do with Gaza. Yeah, completely different situations. Completely different situations. Gaza is the place where Hamas operates from, and as a terrorist organization attacks a sovereign country and brutally kills, tortures, abducts, rapes their citizens, their civilians, based upon which then Israel says enough is enough and goes in to finish them once and for all. With Ukraine and Russia, I don't even want to get into the discussion of which side is what, but you have one country that is being invaded under different pretenses by another country. That's what you have, and there's just no comparison. Knows too much. Too many confused people with no moral compass think mercy equals morality. Sacrificing the lives of your soldiers in the interest of enemy civilians is immoral. Yeah, no country should be expected to compromise the safety and the lives of their own forces, their own soldiers, to somehow protect the other side from harm while they are at war. Israel is doing enough already to conduct this in the best way possible, and they risk lives to save lives, whereas the other side just wants death and destruction. It shouldn't need an explanation. And I said this before, I say it often. Israelis don't have to explain themselves and don't have to apologize. Don't
This
care.
person. Every time I see, it doesn't matter, like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. When I see his name on a screen, I get hungry. I need to get up and eat something. Every time.
Alhamdu Shawarma Al Falafel Ibn Tahini Jr. said, I just watched Comrade Rebecca on her channel. A few minutes later, she's on AP. Same look, same energy. Right after this, I expect to see you at David's. Yeah, David is not available this weekend at all. In fact, I might go live again here instead of him, just because I can. Yeah, this makes me want to eat shawarma.
Okay, let's stop. I'm closing my eyes. Please don't tell me what the comment is.
Nope, this said, look fed and shaven, probably prepared for an exchange, most likely. Well, there are also different circumstances. Or Dro said, AP, over the years, you show amazing integrity, humanity, and truth. That being said, never heard you criticize Israel at all. If you had to, what would you criticize? Ben-Gvir, judicial reform, something else? Appreciate it. Thank you very, very, very much. I mean, I did
think it's your job, though, to be honest.
I'm not in a position to say anything negative about Israel. I don't have the obligation or the responsibility to say anything negative about Israel. I don't think I'm in any place to do any such thing, but I did occasionally, here and there, say something, make some negative remarks about something that happened during some operations or some policies. For example, oh yeah, look, here's a criticism. I think so. In 2005, Israel left the Gaza Strip, and which most people agreed with, and also forcibly removed those who didn't agree, the very few, and left Gaza to the Gazan population to then elect their own leaders and rule the Gaza Strip autonomously. only a blockade was put in place, which would then be gradually lifted. That was the plan. And the idea was, it was again this whole land for peace idea, where if you give them the authority and you give them this land, peace might come. But one of the assumptions was that if things derail and Gaza becomes a hub for terrorism and attacks against Israel are made, then of course this plan would be cancelled. However, what happened? Hamas came to power, and for almost 20 years, instead of finishing this, instead of canceling this project, Israel turned it into a norm to put up defensive systems and just turn this into an everyday situation, turn this into something normal to live with, to say, well, okay, they fire missiles at us, we will just put a defense system in place and try to go with that. I think that was a mistake. In my humble opinion, of course, others may be different. I think that was a mistake. I think as soon as Hamas got elected and as soon as they vowed to never recognize Israel and to never make peace, Israel should have gone all into Gaza and finished them.
It's not that Israel didn't want to do that. It was not going against Hamas. It was going against the United States if they did that.
They should have done it anyway. Or they should have done.
So Israel now is not the same as it was 20 years ago.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm criticizing the Israel.
Yeah, but I mean, like technically wasn't.
Yeah.
Like
but
Israel, when I was young, Israel was poor. It was like decades. Like it's not like the way Israel developed in the recent decades is insane. So when I say that it wasn't the same country, I mean in several ways, not just that one.
But there's also an aspect, for example, where Netanyahu has had this policy, for example, since he has been in charge, where he had this policy, especially after 2009, where he turned into, instead of looking for a military confrontation with Hamas, he turned into letting Hamas have some of the funds that go to them to pacify Hamas and to reduce hostilities, and to in hopes that this will prevent major violent attacks from Hamas. And this is a policy which was debated within the party for ever. But this was his policy, or he was on the side of doing this. And lots of people now question if that was the right move or not. I don't know. But as said, I'm just from my humble position.
Yeah, it's also
this is just
hard
the one
to
thing
know.
that I say. Yeah. They had their reasons, of course, to do that. I'm not sure. Shona Thornton said, Christian custom is more European, in my opinion, even if its morality is Jewish.
Yes, that's 100% true.
I wasn't going to say 100%, but if you were going to say 100%, sure.
No, it's 100%. Why not? It's true, though.
Yeah, a little bit. I would say 50% true. Okay.
Why? The morality is Jewish, but everything else, the customs are not.
Yeah, well, even the customs are influenced by...
Like what? Christian?
By
what
Christian.
are they celebrating? They're celebrating somebody's birth, somebody's death, somebody's resurrection.
But even different customs are
like
by a Hebrew foundation or by a Jewish foundation. So of course
what?
we develop things in a European way, but certain things are also developed from a Hebrew or from a Jewish standpoint. Christianity is not exclusively European. In fact, many of the
the moral system is Jewish.
Oriental Orthodox systems are non-European and based on just local Middle Eastern traditions. For example, you have the Assyrian Christian community that still shares a lot of customs with the European Christians. You have Coptic Christians. You could argue that they had, of course, the whole Western influence, but still.
So what do they do that's different? They don't have Christmas?
They do, but in different ways. I don't want to think of examples. I just want to say a number.
Like, I don't know. I don't know then.
I don't care. You said 100%, and I just want to disagree with you. It doesn't matter what the details are.
I'm sorry. Maybe the word European is wrong. It's like the morality is Jewish and everything else is from something else.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
that's different.
Telegraph said Arnon Zmora saved Kibbutz Yad Mordecai on October 7. Oh, really? Was he? Huh.
I think.
Heroes. These are heroes. Today he died. Today he gave his life to save more people. Ayatollah Khamenei, every time I hear about Muhammad trying to interpret the Bible, I am reminded of the film Dunstan Checks in Alhamdulillah. I don't even know that film. What is that? Is that even a film? It apparently
I don't
is.
know this one.
Oh, I saw images of that. Never saw the whole thing. I should have a look at that. Loney Crow said, "You say there are good people in Gaza, but the nature of ideological evil is that it ignores feelings, and even a good person is subject to commandments."
You say that by the nature of ideological evil ignores feeling. Not exactly. Not exactly.
I'm really trying not to get into this discussion very deeply right now.
Look at AP, for example. Aren't you different from the environment you grew up in, though?
A little bit,
Aren't you supposed to want to put me on a stake?
yes,
So why don't you then?
because I changed my belief systems over time. However, the issue is even when
Would you have done it
no
if you that's the
no
thing, you wouldn't have.
no, but that's the problem. That's the problem. And maybe that's also what's being pointed out here, which is that even if I personally am different from the environment and the ideology that I'm part of, I'm still technically, in a way, supporting it as long as I'm part of it, and
That's true,
still partially
but that's
responsible for it.
different.
Yeah.
But that's different.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't want to get into this discussion because it will be too deep and too lengthy now. Moshko, and it was less about the Holocaust and more about getting their asses kicked all over the mandate by the Irgun and Lehi and later the Mari movement. Nose Tumor said Israel needs to show strength. Stop apologizing. Stop being merciful to genocidal enemies at the expense of their own people. When Israel shows weakness, the Israel haters demonize it and make demands. This is accurate. As harsh as it may sound to some people, there are lots of others, lots of different interested parties in the world that just want to take advantage of any compromise, of any weakness, of any attempt to make peace. Israel reached out and tried to sort things out in a good way forever since the beginning of the last century. Look where that got you. It's just the other side doesn't appreciate your kindness. There is no need to apologize. There's no need to consider to
There is
be
no
so considerate.
kindness in that anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That's not kindness.
Yeah, it's like one of my many exes. Like I say, I have a collection of them. He was in.
Good to know. Yeah.
He was in the same room in NYU, I think, with some university in New York. So, with the nephew of Sabarikat, if I'm not mistaken. He died because of COVID, and when he died, he texted his former roommate that, well, sorry for your loss, and his response was, "Are you joking? The whole family is like so happy. This dude was a dog." Like was his response. Like everybody, we all hated him. He was a terrible human being. There isn't like those who are cruel to everyone. There is no mercy in keeping them alive.
Yeah. And being kind to the opponent or to the enemy at the expense of the safety and the future of your own people would also be paradoxically not really an act of kindness. It would be actually kind of unkind to the very people that you're supposed to care about the most, which are your own people. Because if you don't care about your own people, nobody else will. Knows too much said, I already read this, what's wrong with you? Mohammed and Aisha said, shake it off, why I criticize Islam, say no more. I still have to watch it, I will watch it, definitely. Pat's Leatherstrap, they actually removed Sinwar from cancer.
So it was a failure because the cancer died and Sinwar didn't, right?
Yeah, they were supposed to do it the other way. They didn't do it.
They're supposed to be the other way.
Yeah. What is this person's name? The Hebrew. I can't read it. What is it? The super chat here.
Efrat Cohen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I already had that last time. In Israel, it is proven every time. Efrat Cohen said, in Israel, it is proven every time that when we listen to the world, we lose. When the world is against us, or we don't listen to the world, we succeed. Today's rescue operation and the 6-day war are the best proof of this. Israel. True. And had you listened to the world, there would currently be a ceasefire and these 4 hostages would still be in captivity right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Israel would be actually
honest.
retreating.
If we listened to the world, we would be all dead.
That too. But just the smaller picture.
Just like a small side effect.
Yeah, but the smaller picture is that Israel would have forcibly done a ceasefire by now and would have left Gaza, because that's the demand. That's the demand. And the hostages would probably still be there. They wouldn't be saved. Israel has done good by not listening and by just continuing, because Israel is responsible for Israeli lives. And those Israeli lives are currently being held and mistreated and threatened. So screw the world. Seriously, the world doesn't care about you. You have to care about yourself. The world would care about you.
They care,
after
but in a very twisted way, like in the obsessed, stalking kind of way of like.
They would care about you after you're dead. So after you're dead.
No, when we are alive, like in a stockish kind of obsessed.
But they would care more after you're dead. Then they would make all kinds of nice stories about how good you were.
Oh yeah.
While you are alive, you have to care about yourselves. That's it. I mean, it's just, think about it from a person's perspective. You are in charge of your own safety. You are in charge of yourself. If you don't care about yourself, this is what is said. Nobody else will. It's quite accurate. If you don't care about yourself, if you don't protect yourself, nobody else will. You are foremost in charge of protecting yourself, of taking care of yourself. As a nation, Israel is in charge of protecting itself and taking care of itself. Others won't do that for you. Others don't have your best interest at heart at all time. You can't just trust the world.
Do you want me to tell you
and risk lives? Yes.
It's true for every country and every person.
Yes.
Not just Israel.
Yes. Was that the secret?
Mm.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I know. That's a very good secret. Thank you. As Hope said, question for Rebecca. I'm sure you have mentioned this, but I love your perspective. And my Israeli cousins keep it kind, in your opinion. To put it blunt, do you think us American Jews are pussies? I think you said something to me back when I was there, but I'm not going to.
It's just a very different culture. I don't know how to describe it. Not everyone. Definitely not everyone are pussies. A lot are not. I don't know. I remember I was in Taglit, but the Taglit for children, for the 15-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
So it was called something else, and there were lots of Americans, and we went our class from the school joined them. When we parted ways, all the Israelis looked at each other, and we were like, "What was that?" And we started laughing, rolling on the floor. To be honest.
Yeah. So it's just because they're different, a little bit different, right? A little bit, just not like You
Yeah, they were just weird, I
not
guess. A lot of them were.
not very
Um,
traditional in
it's
your sense.
very easy to trick. Uh, very easy to make fun at. Like, I don't know. Just I'm trying to think like when like I know. Yeah. So it's like this experience that I had when I was little, and I went to an American summer camp, and I mispronounced somebody's name, and she started crying, and she wouldn't stop crying until her Israeli mother came, and when she's asked what happened, like her mom was Israeli, so she was like, you're an embarrassment," or something like that. That's what she told her, like, ugh, what the fuck? How did I give birth to that?
Yeah.
But not all Americans are like that. Not all American Jews are like that. It just
Not all
there
Americans.
are some like that. Okay, a lot of them are not like that.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess a lot of American Jews are have this very secular Jewish influence that kind of gives them a very Western touch, a very Western way of approaching, of thinking about things. Israelis are much more direct. What I noticed is that, of course, when I was in Israel, everyone was very loud. Uh, compared to people in the West, in America, everyone was very loud and very direct and very open and very natural and very like without much of a secret hand, without much of the whole politeness. Everyone just tells you directly what they think and how they feel. That's
Yeah,
the impression that I have of Israelis, and also
but
very very
also
like everyone hugs each other and stuff like that. Like hugging is very common, and stuff like that.
like, but I know like the Americans that I know that are like not like that. That a lot of them are Americans that at some point moved to Israel. They they were crazy in a different way, like the opposite way.
Yeah. Um,
Well, it's also like I can, but to me, honest to me, the most surprising thing was, for example, I have somebody that I know that he started studying in a university here and then moved to an Ivy League in the United States and said it was way easier.
mhm.
So I was like,
That's Dina Review said you must not have spent time in New York. Many Jews live there, and we are all very loud and direct. Well, that's a New York thing, probably. So uh, that might be a New York influence. Michelle B said, "AP, thanks for having Miss Barsef on your show. I love her insights. Congrats to Israel and the idea for getting those 4 hostages home. May all the others come home soon. Of course, I'll
Amen.
have Rebecca on. Of course, I'll have Rebecca on. When I met Rebecca, she had 100 subscribers.
Yes, and a lot of them were family members, which I cried and begged for to subscribe.
Nice. And now you have, wait, how many subscribers do you have now?
It's like 8,000 or something.
8,000. Wow.
Yes, which is way more than 100.
It is, I think. Yeah.
And I didn't have to cry and beg for them to subscribe. So that's like the biggest achievement.
That's good. Oh, yeah. You have now 8,000, 8.33 thousand subscribers. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. When I met you, you were very little. You were this little. Now you're big. R1, new here and enjoy your content. As a Christian, I
Yeah,
agree with you
people
on almost
subscribe to
everything.
my channel too, even though AP didn't even bother attacking me and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I usually don't do that because I don't. I usually
Yeah,
forget
you
about it.
don't want your subscribers to go to other people. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm against other channels, but definitely go and subscribe to Rebecca. She has
Yeah.
very good takes on things. Very nice videos. Even makes casual videos where she gets 10,000 views in 2 days. It's pretty nice. You're on a very good track. You're growing much faster than I did when in the beginning. So
Well, I'm cheating. I have good friends.
that's true. That's true. Oh, wait a minute. No, I put that super chat away without ever reading it. What did this say? What did that say? That super chat that I just clicked away said, "New here and enjoy your content. As a Christian, I agree with y'all on almost everything so far. Godspeed." Okay, good. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How do you feel about your wife becoming Christian again?
I hate it.
I feel like I inspired her to do that somehow.
I hate it. I told her you have.
I'm
you
sorry.
you will stop.
I'm sorry,
You
AP.
will stop with this, otherwise.
I know she watched it. I feel like she got influenced from some of my videos. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe she did. I don't know. No, I'm very. She's
I'm
she's
sorry,
very
AP.
happy. She's very happy and very excited about it. So I'm happy for her too, and I see that she finds peace with it. It gives her peace
It does.
and meaning, and I see her sit and read and think about things again. Although she was like religious far in the past, like being back there, it feels like she has been longing for this whole religiosity and the religious experience for all this time, and she found back. And when I see her happy, that makes me happy. So
That's good.
it's good. I totally support it and think it's great. It's great.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. So my wife is a Christian. Yeah. She's a Christian now.
No, we talked about religion in our private DMs and stuff. I'm sorry, AP.
How dare you? Ayatollah Khamenei said, AP, one of the Abduls in the chat keeps proposing to Rebecca. Why are Muslims such simps? Not all Muslims. Not all Muslims. Rebecca, do you accept the marriage
proposal?
Yeah.
I mean,
just say
depends.
Yeah. Okay.
How much money do they have and how do they look like?
You don't have to know that. It's fine.
And how easily are they to get rid of?
Depends on what you mean by get rid of.
Like
said, in a body bag. Nudis said, "Hello, back to you, whiteboard. Allah must have written that text because we all know women can't write. It's nice seeing the work of Allah take place now." This is true. Women can't write. This is true. Zach Lawrence became a member of the channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Ayatollah Khamenei said, Joe Biden talking about his adult diaper while attending D-Day celebrations. I'm about to end this man's whole career. Mr. Max at Al Jazeera said the rescue was in the middle of a baby market and all the babies got martyred. This is believable. It might have also been the babies that shot initially at the IDF, at the Israeli forces when they were trying to rescue the hostages. There was an army of babies that came out and started firing at them with RPGs and AKs.
And that explains the bad aim, like to only get one person and get so many gazans when you aim. Like, okay, if babies did that, that everything makes sense now.
Yeah. That's a good point. Or Daniel said, interesting how every country that had an inquisition, dictatorship rule, etc., are suing Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East with equal rights to women and LGBT. There are some things that I don't want to say directly. However,
then use your board. Use your whiteboard.
I don't have it with me. It's somewhere. But here's the thing.
Private domain, the private checked, and then I left, and I will tell nobody.
I know the Middle East. I know Muslim culture. I experienced the different sides. I know the statistics and the history and the politics. If among everything that has been going on, you seriously accuse Israel of being the bad guy here in the Middle East, then I can't take that seriously for a second. That's one. Secondly,
Not
go
even the Arabs take it seriously.
yourself. That's number two. And number three, it just shows that Israel is doing everything right to me, honestly. This is a very diplomatic way of saying what I actually want to say. Dor Daniel said, also, will you do a stream together with Frank from Nigerian Perspective? Love that guy. Maybe one day, inshallah. Asa, Gaza cheers when they take hostages. Israel cheers when they are rescued. How the world can miss the difference between hate and love, death and life is mind-blowing. Because the world doesn't care about what's actually conspiring. What the world cares about is who is loud. Who is loud, who is high, massive in numbers, who is playing the victim, especially since the other side, the jihadist side, found a way to appeal to the whole Western way of just sympathizing with the oppressed, which is a very recent trend. These Islamists have really adopted this whole oppressed narrative of saying, oh, we're oppressed. Look, you see, Israel is strong, the Jews are strong, and they're white. They're actually white. Yeah, we are brown and they're white, and they're strong and we are weak. Completely ignoring the fact that
Who is more white? You or I? Who is whiter?
that's a good question. I think we are pretty much equal.
We're different shades of white.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to make a poll and ask who is more white. Yeah.
Are you not considered Middle Eastern then?
It's complicated.
Mm.
It is complicated. But yeah, actually, the thing with Turks is that they are one of the most unique and most mixed people as a nation.
It's what I said, people here. Stop asking what race we are. We're literally like connecting 3 continents. What kind of race are we supposed to be? All of them.
There's no real race there. It's just, it's weird.
Like when humanity left Africa, they went through this corridor. Like everybody goes through here. You think people are not having fun in the, while they visit?
Look at this. Almost everyone is saying that I'm whiter than you.
Oh, wow.
Jan came AP more white. 50 Shades of White. Balance of AP is the oppressor. This means I'm white. All our blood is the same color. No, it can't be true. He's Turkish, so yes. She is lighter. Oh, one person finally says that you are whiter than I am. AP is Greek. AP more white. AP is my vote for whiter. Ayatollah Khamenei says, what's wrong with Tovia Singer? He seems nuts. Stop dissing Tovia Singer, man. He's a nice guy.
I don't know him.
I don't know why I'm so reserved and so nice today. And I don't want to say much of the things that I actually have on my mind for some reason. Maybe it's because today is a good day and the whole rescue.
Yeah, we want to keep it positive.
Yeah, I'm just happy about that. I just want to keep things positive. Don't want to be like all mean and all that. But yeah. He's a nice guy. He said some nice. Tovia Singer said some nice things about me. I just have some of my differences with him for different reasons. Genix said, what connects communism and Free Palestine tards? The oppressor-oppressed narrative, nothing else. There are also communist movements inside Gaza that are currently cooperating with Hamas to attack Israel. The PFLP is a Marxist-Leninist communist organization that was very, very popular in the past, is no longer so popular today because Islamism kind of took over. But they actually work together with Hamas, while Hamas is oppresses and executes them or tortures them in prisons when they get together and share a cell. But they have some of the common goals of working against the oppressor. The funny thing about that is, if Hamas somehow succeeded and took over, probably the first party that they would brutally crack down on and take out would be the PFLP, the communists. But communists happen to be very retarded, which is why they always do this whole thing where they collaborate with the Islamists, with those people that
I
would kill
think,
them.
but the communists are evil too, though.
Yeah, they are, but they're also retarded.
I mean, they weren't organized well in Iran.
Yeah,
I mean, if you take Leninism, that's brutal, man.
it is. Communism is brutal, and communism is really messed up.
Leninism, he wanted to kill people randomly just for the fun of it. That was
Yeah.
his interpretation of communism.
But the thing is, Islam is very organized compared to communism. Islam is
Depends where.
organized
Yeah.
and harsh. Communism is just
And let's say in China, communism is winning.
communism is well, China made so many compromises that they are not even really communist anymore.
Like how really communists exist, like really Islam exists.
Well, that's the problem, because communism doesn't work, so they had to change it. China had to change it, adopt so many capitalist policies that they have become a syncretic, a mixed communist capitalist state that is only communist in name at this point, because communism just doesn't work. You can't make it work.
Does Islam work?
It works
Curiously.
in uniting and killing others. So
Yeah, but then when you actually become a government, does it work?
but you don't have to worry about that. You just have to continue killing others,
Until everybody is extinct, basically.
which is not going to
That's-
happen anyway. So
That's the Pol Pot kind of communism.
yeah.
Like, it's like the same way. The classical Islamic interpretation is his version of communism, the way he did in Cambodia.
Yeah.
I see.
That's pretty messed up. Alhamdu Shawarma Al Falafel Ibn Tahini Jr. said, "Look at you, AP, grooming Rebecca. Rebecca is not 3 years old. Stop talking." Avery Howard
Yes, I
said,
am. I identify as a 3-year-old.
"That's good. What's up, brother? Love you, Khaled, as a Christian. Always nice to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. Infinity, can't wait to come up with something funny to say for my first super chat." You already missed it.
Congrats.
This one's funny enough. I appreciate this. Mission accomplished. Ayatollah Khamenei's 6th century fresh and fit podcast with host Mohammed. Aisha's a 6. God, this is a terrible joke, but it's actually an interesting idea for a parody. Efrat Cohen, right?
Yes.
Efrat Cohen said, "The biggest mistake of the Israeli government are the Oslo Accords and the expulsion from Gush Katif. We knew this would be the result."
Yeah. It's not the only mistake.
The thing with Israel is that Israel has been on this whole shift that has been lasting forever since the beginning, from a very left-leaning mindset, gradually and increasingly shifting more and more and more and more and more to the center and to the right, and it's still in the process of that. And lots of the sentiments of the past, where the idea was, oh, we can just make compromises, just make peace, just agree to different things, give this promise and that promise, and maybe come to a peace agreement and so on. Just failures of that over and over and over again will eventually lead to the point where Israel no longer wants to play the game. That should have actually come a long time ago, but it's slowly getting to that point where Israel just doesn't want to play that game at all anymore, in no single possible way. Maybe that should have happened a long time ago, but it started from the very beginning. In 1948, when the modern state of Israel was established.
Yeah, this is what happens when you get communists pretending to be Jews. They just, sneaked in.
They were a little socialist, but they weren't really.
No, a lot of people were like straight up communists.
Yeah, but they were more. It was more a socialist idea. The whole.
I mean,
and-
that
but
was the compromise. They had to compromise a lot of different sects.
they did a good job in establishing what they established, and
It's amazing what no choice does to you.
nice. Anyway, with that, I just want to summarize everything with this image here. And Rebecca, anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to talk about?
I want to say.
Don't say
What
it.
do I want to say?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought that I'm still hungry from the shawarma falafel tchini person.
I want to go and order some falafel now.
What order falafel? I can get it. I can get it 3:30 a.m. There is no way I'm getting it now. I wish there were like special delivery for my 3 a.m. cravings.
I want to order falafel from Israel. No, not falafel. I want to order shawarma from Israel.
There is one specific falafel spot in Jerusalem which is amazing. And other than their falafel, I don't really like falafel. But yeah.
I can't say much about falafels. Jack said, "Thank you both for the stream. Good to see smiles and hear laughter." Thank you.
Yes.
But why is
That's
there?
fun. Where's the
That's
food, Jax?
yeah. Where's the food? Yeah. Okay. I'll keep this short. This live stream will be done for now. I'll be probably live again tomorrow.
That's am I not as entertaining as David? Is that what you're saying?
No, you are. It's just that
I don't know. I feel like just
you have more of a calm vibe, more of a calm attitude.
Oh
and
no. I feel should I feel more passionately about it since it's my country and stuff?
yes, you should be like, yeah, what's up? Huh?
Yes, listen, guys, like this is serious things, and
you should look into how people do YouTube videos. You should start your videos with, "Hey everybody, what's up? This is Rebecca." That's how you should start. That's how people get popular on YouTube.
yeah, that I'll try to be like that. It will be.
Yeah, on the good side, Eduardo Ventura said, "At least don't keep yelling like David." This is true. David always yells. This is the thing. So many people have over the years told me that they, especially over the last half year, told me that for some reason they turn on our live stream and fall asleep listening to our live streams.
Yeah, that's what I did. I told you that.
Yeah, you told me
I
that as
told
well.
you that. I told you that I would fall asleep with your. I
but
just
you're not
put
the
it
only.
on and like fall asleep.
See here, there is a confirmation, but you're not the only person. I've heard it from many
I'm
different
not.
people. Yeah, so which
Like,
is very weird. But I always imagine that people like peacefully listen to this stream and fall asleep, while I'm speaking totally calmly. Then David comes in and starts yelling. Isn't that a little bit weird?
no, I tell you what. Like, okay, so I didn't listen to your stream all the time, but I did listen to it every day after October 7th because you guys made me feel good, and
That's
I
good.
was so sad, and it was like, okay, not like someone doesn't want me dead, and that relaxed me, and I fell asleep.
That's good too. That's kind of good, but also kind of sad.
I know, right? It was tragic.
I know that you were subscribed to this channel for a long time, from the very beginning almost.
From your very beginning, when you were
Yeah,
still in
yeah.
your living room.
Yeah, but you only started really engaging, I think, when you were after October 7. Then you started engaging with the channel more and with the comment section, and you also got in touch. And I appreciate that. That was a good thing.
I remember when you were starting and people were asking you about Israel, and I watched those videos, and all I thought was like,
I did mostly have very positive views on Israel, though.
Which to me is crazy that you were even like you were talking about. Why were you required to even have an opinion on that, which is
Yeah,
like
people. When we talk about Islam and the whole conflict and everything that is going on with it, everyone wants you to have an idea, an opinion on Israel. And when it comes to Israel,
but
because of the
before
collective
like
global
before
opinion,
October 7th.
yeah, I know, but it's still always part of the discussion. The thing is,
Yeah, this is why I said like the world is like stalking us.
yeah, and they think
Like,
you're superhumans too, that you control the whole world and you have like supernatural powers and all that. So they have to be always careful about you and always talk about you because it's very important. And I
so
saw it
much
too when
attention.
I saw that too when I came to Israel. I saw how Israelis are just controlling the whole world and controlling and pulling the strings and manipulating everyone around the world, which is very interesting.
I told you what I was always say to that. Everywhere that Jews control, life is great. It's when you lose the Jewish control is that everything goes down south.
Yeah. Honestly,
You
I
should
think
hand over yourself to the Jews everywhere, like all the countries.
I wish Jews controlled the world. Anyway, all right. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be live.
Thank you all. It's okay. We will continue the protocols of Zions after we end the stream.
Inshallah. Also, once again, although I highlighted it before, now I have to do that again because then Rebecca cries if I don't say it. But
What?
definitely
Why
go
am I
and
crying?
definitely
Oh,
go and
yeah.
subscribe to Rebecca's channel on here.
Yes,
Rebecca
people.
Balsef. Subscribe. She has very unique and very interesting and very good takes. In fact, I never listened to a whole video by anybody in the world. I did, however, listen to one of your videos completely recently, which was this one, revisiting the 10 Commandments, and I thought it was actually very interesting. So you have very, very interesting, very good takes, and I like that. And I started boosting you because when I was in Israel, I noticed that you had very, very good takes. So you know that. So I would definitely always suggest subscribing and supporting Rebecca. She's doing good, great stuff. And we'll be back again. I'll probably be back again tomorrow. And yeah, stay well, everybody. See you all soon. And as always,
Stay away.
Stay away from Islam.
Yeah.
Nice.